Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. It's a brand new mother effing year, thank God. I'm very excited for this because I think we all just need that refresh of like, okay, we closed the chapter of 2020 and now we have this more exciting book called 2021. It may not look as different as 2020, but I think it'll be a little bit better than 2020. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope you guys all had a happy holiday season, whatever you celebrate. It was definitely weird, you know, of course, like with the pandemic and everything, but I overall enjoyed it. Thanks for asking. So I don't really have a specific, like, I usually try and like outline my videos, but this one is going to be a little bit more chill, a little bit more relaxed, kind of like just a normal little chat. I wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions and goals and what my goals will be for this year. I'm primarily going to be talking about like health and wellness goals. I will mention some other personal goals as well, but I think that will be the main focus for this one. And like what I want my 2021 to look like. Also, I will be talking a little bit about how to set goals properly. If you were at my most recent snack chat, hey, what's up? I appreciate you. This past Monday, when you're watching this on the 28th, I had my second snack chat. If you don't know what a snack chat is, it's basically my version of calling a webinar. I try to do these once a month, if not every other month. It just kind of depends on what I'm feeling like talking about. Just a little chat to, you know, give you some tips and tricks, give you some insight on some things. Of course, all about food and body image and overall well-being. If you were at that last one, amazing. If not, totally fine. I will link below my website. There's a section about it called Snack Chat Sessions. I will always be announcing it on there, on my Instagram, and also there's going to be a little registration thing there so that way you can register for it. In the meantime, long story short, this last snack chat that we had was all about how to set New Year's resolutions / goals that are health-based but not weight loss focused, because of course a lot of the time around this time of year everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna be healthy and fit for the new year, I'm gonna lose X amount of pounds, I'm gonna run a marathon and do all these like big things, which is, you know, it's great to strive for those things, but a lot of people fall very short. And so we're just gonna chat about it. But I think first I'm gonna talk about how to set goals that are health-based but not weight loss focused. Since I love talking about this stuff, because I know for myself personally, for the last at least 5 or so years, every single year the number one thing on my like goals or resolutions or whatever was to lose weight. Like I wanted to be at this goal weight, like whatever, I'm not going to mention numbers, but I would always talk about like, yeah, I'm gonna crush this goal this year, like I feel so good about it. And of course, you know, the first day you're like, yeah, I feel great, like I walked a mile and I drank all this water and like I cooked a bunch of healthy food. And then, this is for me personally, and then like a few days later or so I'd be like, ugh, I don't want to eat the same food and I'm craving something else that's deemed unhealthy. And it was just like all this rude. And it was just this constant cycle of feeling motivated and inspired and super ready, and then going all in way too fast, way too hard, and then just being like, screw it, because I missed a day. And I know that's for a lot of people too, so don't feel bad. But here I'm going to give you some tips on how to actually make it more attainable, more tangible, and actually effective to make and achieve your goals for this year. Also, just a disclaimer, if you don't want to make goals or resolutions or whatever, I don't really know what to call them, they're kind of just both. you don't have to. Like, just because it's a brand new year doesn't mean you have to make new goals for the year. If you have goals that you are still working towards, that you've had in mind, great, keep working on them. You're doing a great job, like, just keep going. Hopefully this will help you kind of reframe and hunker down a little bit more on what your goals are, and to really see the true value and your why and everything, which we'll get into. So my number one thing of making goals more effective is to find out what your why is, or your North Star, if you will. Because once you find that deeper meaning as to why you chose a goal specifically, it'll have so much more meaning to you, and every time you feel like defeated or like, oh, I messed up and I don't want to do this, you can always go back to that deeper meaning as to why you chose it in the first place, and be like, okay, you can reframe, take a step back, be like, okay, put too much pressure on it, let me just, take a moment, take a breather, and, push on forward. So, and with your why, when you attach a feeling or emotion to it, it will automatically start feeling more real and alive through your body. Like, that energy from when you think of that feeling, it'll rush through your entire body, and it will automatically just start helping you propel forward towards that. Again, this kind of goes along with like manifestation and law of attraction. If you're all about that, me too. I have been obsessed with that since I learned more about it this past year in 2020. It has been such a lifesaver, honestly. If you want me to do a video on that, let me know down below. I'd love to talk about law of attraction and manifestation, because I could talk about it for days. But yeah, attaching an emotion or a feeling to it is going to be a huge, huge thing. In order to make it feel more real, more tangible, it'll feel more alive and more exciting too. And of course, being as specific as you can will really, really help. Because if you say, for example, like you want to live a healthier lifestyle, for example. Like, yes, that is a great goal. Obviously, that's a general topic of what you want to do, but underneath that, what is the specific goals that you want to do? So, for example, of course, it usually means like exercise more and eat healthier. And then, of course, under those two, what would be under there? So, for me, because I always just try to implement all of these things of trying to live a healthier lifestyle every single day, just because I do want to feel my best overall. So for me, like this year, to exercise more. I want to just add more movement into my day every single day. Whether that be something big, something small, and then of course like asking like, why is that important to me? It's important because I miss moving. I miss moving my body. I love the feeling of exercising and sweating and just all the endorphins. And I just know that it makes me feel better mentally and physically whenever I do any type of movement. And then same thing for like eating healthier. Why is that important to me? Well, it's important to me because I know that I feel better when I eat healthier. I will feel better about just how I feel in my body. My stomach and my digestive system will definitely thank me for that. Yeah, there's just so many different things that I know make me feel good if I do those things. So overall, a very, very specific thing that you want to do is get specific about the single goal that you want to achieve, like in that topic. If there's more in that topic, great, but whatever just like that one focus is, get as specific as you can. The example I love to give people is like, to find your why, you have to constantly be asking yourself why. You know that little kid thing of like, they go up to you and they're like, hey, why is the sky blue? And you're like, oh, just because like that's how the world was made. And then they're like, why? And then you try and give them another answer, and then they say why. And then you try and give them another answer, and then they ask why. And they keep asking why until they get a satisfactory answer. And same thing goes for us. We have to always ask ourselves, why is this important to me? And then going back to the exercising, well, because I know I feel better. Well, why? Because my body isn't going to be as stagnant, especially working at home all day. Why? And just keep asking until you have a satisfactory answer. Again, the fact of being able to journal on this, just chef's kiss. It's fantastic. I highly recommend journaling for any and everything, but especially on this topic because it helps you find your why, and you can just brain dump and keep a flow chart of all the answers that you find, so that way you can start with where you're at and you can see the progression of all of your answers until you find the deep down soul specific answer that you're looking for. And going back to attaching a feeling or an emotion, when you think of, like, for example, if you're wanting to run a marathon and like that is your goal, of course, like, it's gonna seem like a very, very hard thing to do, especially if you've never ran a day in your life. But as you're training for that, keep in mind of, like, when you want to think about it, think of the feeling of crossing that finish line. Like that, maybe you don't know what that is, but you can just assume what that's going to feel like. It's going to feel so exhilarating, so fulfilling. You'll feel so accomplished because you did something maybe you've never done before. So just think of what that feeling is in your body, like how happy you'll be, how excited you'll be, things like that. So that will also help with visualization as well. I love me some visualization. Yeah, same thing. You can also journal about this as well. Like write down, like, again, going back to running a marathon, write in your journal what that day would look like for you. So for example, like when you wake up, what do you do to prepare for it? Your feelings and emotions when you're getting to the racetrack. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I've never ran a marathon before. But when you get there and then you sign up or sign in and whatever, and you're preparing mentally, physically, emotionally for this huge feat that you're about to do. And just thinking of all of the moving parts and how that day would look like for you, oh, it's gonna be just, it's so good, I promise you. If you want more help on visualization and like journaling for that, always send me a DM. I believe, I have to double check, I think I might have a blog post about it that I wrote over the summer about it. If I am correct, I will link it down below in the description box. So, quick recap of those points for creating goals. The most effective thing that you're going to do first is finding your why, or your North Star, whatever you want to call it. Just finding out the deeper meaning as to why this goal is important to you. And then the next thing that kind of goes with that is attaching that feeling or emotion to it. So finding out, what does that feel like if you accomplish that goal? What will it feel like when you continue to live your life moving forward from that goal? Things like that, because it'll start feeling so much more alive and the energy will flow through your body into creating that goal. And then taking from all of those like answers that you've gotten from yourself, the next thing would be daily habits. So breaking things down into what you can do every single day that will build towards that goal. Because you can't just do it one day and be like, well, I finished it, I accomplished it. I mean, that would be kind of amazing if you could do that, but for most goals, can't really do that. So just go ahead and, like, whatever your goal is, see what the breakdown of that goal would be, like the steps to it, and then take those steps into daily habits and see what you can actually create towards those goals. So that way you can check in like a month or two later and see how far you've gotten because you took those daily steps every single day to get there. Alright, so now for the fun part, I'm going to be talking more about my goals and how I've broken it down and the daily habits that I'm going to try and track every single day. So I wrote them down on my phone on Notion. I've been using Notion a little bit more recently and I'm absolutely loving it. It's very, very helpful to keep everything kind of organized. Personally, I like to bullet journal. I've been bullet journaling since I think 2016, if not at least 2017 for sure. It might be 2016, can't really remember, but I personally like to have a bullet journal. It's a creative outlet for me, but also keeps me very organized. So I kind of transfer what I have in my bullet journal onto my phone, just so that way if I can't access my bullet journal, I have it right there on my phone. So again, I'm going to be talking about my specific health and wellness goals that I have for this year. When I mean health and wellness, I'm talking kind of overall health. So like physical health, mental health, emotional, spiritual, things like that, because health isn't just a one-size-fits-all thing. Health is your entire well-being. So that's why it's going to cover a couple different topics, and I'll try and organize them in a better way. Alright, so let's talk about, I guess, like physical health, like movement and exercise. So my goal is to hike, or like do a long trail once a week. I have always wanted to be the person that like just goes on solo hikes all the time, but for some reason it just always made me nervous. And my best friend Valerie, she is the queen of solo adventuring and I admire her so much for it. I've told her time and time again, but I will never stop telling her because it's amazing what she does. I'm hoping to obviously learn from her. My sister also likes to go hiking with her friends and her boyfriend, so I'm hoping that I can start doing those by myself. Of course, it's good for my physical health. I'll be able to move and go for long walks, but also good for my mental health to take a step back from like work, social media, my phone in general, like any screen time, and just I love nature. I just don't really get to connect with it as much, so I'm hoping I'll be able to do that this year. And I'm going to try and record a lot of this stuff on my Instagram. So if you want to see my journey with all of this, I will link that down below so you can follow me there. If you want to keep checking out what I'm up to every day and see my daily habits and things like that. And for this one, there's not really daily habits, except for just like prepping and scheduling and planning and make sure that I have what I need, like the right clothes. I do have hiking boots, which my sister got for me for my birthday in 2020. And I haven't really put them to much use, so I'm again hoping to change that this year. Alright, another thing I want to work on is being consistent with yoga and stretching. I am a dancer, if you didn't know. I'm a dancer. I haven't really done much dancing this year, which I will talk about in a second. But I actually really enjoy yoga. Like when I do it, it feels good. I am moving my body, I'm stretching it, I'm challenging it strength-wise because I don't really have a lot of upper body strength. It's all in the legs for me. So I want to just gain more strength overall in my body, be able to keep up. And one minor goal underneath that, like a subline, is I want to be able to do one of those handstands, like those yoga handstands. I'll put a picture like over here or something. But that is like a goal of mine. I want to try and do one of those cool funky headstands because they look so fun, but I don't have the core strength for it, so this is what we're working on. Okay, going into dancing. So, like I mentioned, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of dancing this year, or since I left my dance job, which makes me very sad, but I made this announcement on my Instagram. Again, I'm just going to keep plugging it because I'm very active over there, so if you want to keep up with what I'm doing every day, go follow me. But I made this announcement, I think last week. It kind of just hit me as a spark of inspiration. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. And I'm gonna put it out into the world, and I'm actually gonna like attempt to do it. So what I'm talking about is I'm going to attempt to dance every single day and post a clip of it on my stories. I already created a highlight for it. It's all ready to go. And I'm very excited about it because I have been dancing majority of my life. I started out with tap dancing, then I did jazz and ballet from time to time. I guess initially my first one was hula when I was a kid because I come from a Hawaiian background. So my sister and I did hula. And then a little bit later in life I did hip hop. And then officially tap was like the really big thing that like got me into it. And then of course I went to school for musical theater, so there's lots of dancing and stuff like that. But I fell in love with ballroom specifically, and that's what my overall passion is for. Anyway, that's I guess my quick dance background. Anyway, I am going to try and post like a clip of me dancing, whether it might be a past video for like a throwback, but the majority is I'm going to try and do them like up to date, like every single day. Mainly just to get me out of my comfort zone. I don't really like post too much of my dancing unless it's for my like family and friends. But I'm trying to make it more public because I love it and it's a part of me that I haven't really shown off so much. So that's the plan. Again, keep track with me on my Instagram if you want to keep seeing that. I think I might actually post them on my TikTok too. I am also including TikTok dances as a part of this dancing day because it's still a dance, so stay tuned for that. Also, another thing is I want to try out more or like different types of movement and exercise. I started boxing a little bit back in early 2020. But then I stopped and I actually really miss it, so I'm hoping to start doing that again. But I've always wanted to try like kickboxing, other dance fitness classes. I used to do Zumba a lot, and that was always fun. But just trying out different stuff. Oh, bar. I've always wanted to try a bar class, never done it. So I'm hoping to expand my, I guess, horizons on workouts, which I think I might actually do a video on, so stay tuned. Lots of good content coming this year. I've already got some great ideas and just needed time to process and think about everything. All right, we're gonna move into like mental health and spirit. I'm kind of considering this spiritual health. So this next one is I want to attempt to take a long weekend trip or a long day trip. Primarily by myself, but if my friends, depending on where I'm going, if I have friends that want to go, of course I'm going to invite my friends. The more the merrier. But in general, just like taking myself out on solo dates more often. Just spend time with myself, get out of the house for sure, but also just to have that time and treat myself and enjoy my own time, you know? I spend a lot of time at home, obviously, like by myself, which I'm not complaining about, but like truly just out in the world by myself, it would be nice, you know? Like take myself out to dinner, if things allow, eventually maybe take myself to a movie. Hopefully people are still doing drive-ins, and hopefully in the summer there will be drive-ins. Yeah, just doing like little things with myself, by myself, like no music, no distractions, just like enjoying the present moment with myself out in the world. That is the hope, and that is the plan. All right, now on to food. I'm very excited about this one. So I got a brand new cookbook for Christmas. I think it's called Vegan Table. It looks fantastic. I haven't made anything from it yet, but it looks just chef's kiss. It looks fantastic. I also have Cara Crincefeli's cookbook, Vegan Buddha Bowls, which have I made stuff? I think I've made stuff from it, but I want to make more. I'll link both of those books down below if you're interested. I am not 100% vegan, but I do enjoy vegan food. I'm trying to eat more plant-based in the new year. I've already started trying to transition that towards the end of this year of 2020, but in the new year I definitely want to make more of an effort for that. So my goal is to make one brand new meal or recipe that I've never tried every single week. Now I feel like that might be a lot, but of course since we're spending a lot of time at home, and I truly enjoy cooking, and again it's another self-care activity for myself, I am looking forward to it. I keep flipping through the vegan table book and oh my god, there are so many. Anyway, yeah, I keep flipping through it and everything looks so good. And of course, because like Pinterest, I have so many recipes I've saved, but almost like 99.9% of them I have never made. I have looked at them, I've thought about making them, but then I don't have the things and I don't want to go to the store and blah blah blah. So that is one of my goals, to try out a new recipe every week, especially a plant-based one. Would be fantastic. Now I know these were a lot of like bigger goals, but the smaller daily habits that I've kind of broken down for this section is I want to go at least on one walk every day, like 5 to 10 minutes. I do have two like larger dogs, which they're the cutest things ever, but they need to get out a lot more. So I'm hoping to at least take them out. My ultimate goal is twice a day, like one in the morning, one at night, and take them out at least once. But yeah, overall to implement taking a walk every day as like a mental break from whatever I'm working on, to get up and move my body, things like that. And then when it comes to like the food side of things, because I do want to cook more at home as a general note, but overall just doing like a fridge prep, not exactly like specific meal prepping, but like a fridge prep thing, which I also want to do a video on, because it's very helpful for me and I feel like a lot of people don't do this, or it's not a very common thing. And to go along with that is to do like a grocery pantry audit at least once a week, because living in a house with 4 people, it's my parents and my sister and I, you know, a lot of leftovers, a lot of food gets put in the fridge, and half the time I don't even know what's in it. So I want to be better about looking in the fridge, seeing what we have, using what we have, and not buying a lot more extra ingredients that we don't need or that may go bad before we can fully use them, and things like that. So those are my little like daily / more manageable habits to be taking. Now I do have in my, I'll just show you, in my bullet journal, I have 4 sections. One is health, finances, business, and relationships. I've been watching Rowena, I think her last name is pronounced Zai, or Sai. I feel so bad, but I don't know how to pronounce it properly. But she's been doing, I mean, all of her videos are fantastic, but she did a recent like goal audit type video. I'll link that below as well because it's fantastic, and that's kind of how I helped figure out my specific like 4 like pillars of goals that I wanted to focus on this year. Of course health was my number 1 because, oh, I didn't even mention this. So I decided in like a moment of, I think I was journaling, but in a moment of like inspiration and like solitude, I came up with my theme for 2021, and that is for the whole year to be all about self-care and doing everything in the name of loving myself. Oh, like I'm honestly so proud of that. It sounds so good. Like doing everything in the name of loving myself. Oh, it feels so good to say that. And yeah, because like this year has been crazy, as that is a given. And I've learned a lot about myself, especially post breakup back in February, and you know, like trying to figure out things that I like to do by myself, things that I can do to take care of myself. So I want to do more of that in 2021, is taking care of myself, focusing more on myself and things like that. So that is my theme for 2021 and I'm very excited about it. There you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm very excited for this new year. I've just been taking this last week, like week and a half, 2 weeks of December to just kind of chill. I'm calling it like a little hibernation of sorts, just to self-reflect, figure out what my focuses are going to be for the new year, really like what's important to me and what I want to do, and yeah, I'm very excited for all of the content that I will be creating this year. I think it's going to be very fun. I'm hoping to be more consistent about YouTube videos because I really enjoy making YouTube videos and it needs to be done. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if there's anything that you want me to talk about, any topics for videos that you want me to do, of course leave them down below. I of course read all the comments and everything, and give this a like if you like this video, if you like this type of content. I definitely did not script this out, but I think it went pretty well. Hopefully while I'm editing I can see if that went well or not. But I think it did. I had a good time, and I think that's all that matters. So again, all my socials are down below, like I've been plugging this entire video. Follow me on Instagram. Again, also on TikTok. I've been having a lot of fun over there if you are on the TikTok as well. If you want more information about what it would be like to work with me one-on-one, information will be down below on my website. Again, you can always DM me to book a free discovery call. That way we can chat and see what your goals are and what we can do and work towards when we work together. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video and on Instagram and wherever. But mainly I'm talking about here. I will see you next time on the YouTube. Bye guys.